Welcome back to the Len Miller Room. Rob Tenyer has joined us now here on the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. You know, it's finally got that warm weather in the air. It's humid. It's going to be 80 degrees today, and best time to be on the turf when it's hot and ready for some more spring football practice.
No question. The weather's been very cooperative for us, and I know we're supposed to get some rain here later in the week, but it's great to be on the field, number one. And number two, when you get great weather, it's just a bonus.
Just the excitement of a spring football season or practice schedule is amazing at times, but you and your staff have hit it from day one. Now you get the chance to put in your systems. How things going thus far?
Have been going great. I think our tempo at practice and what we're trying to accomplish regarding effort and playing hard and playing physical football, I think I'm probably most proud of that and the progress we've made in that area. And then, like you mentioned, the support. I mean, the support has been great. I think people are excited. I think we had over 200 people in the stands on Saturday for a practice.
Yeah.
And it was a partial type scrimmage. It wasn't a big scrimmage or anything. A lot of family and friends, and there were some students in the stands and people out enjoying the weather and want to check out a little bit of Moorhead State football.
You know, what has impressed me is the fact that you've hit, like we said, the ground running, but you and your staff seems like you're everywhere. And, out in the community, you hear people talking about Eagle football. It's April. Usually we're not talking Eagle football in April, but the community, not only the university community, but the Moorhead area in general, so excited for this fresh start, and I know that has to energize you and your staff.
It does. It's exciting. And you'd be amazed how many phone calls we've received already about season tickets and tailgate passes, and typically those don't come till July. So there's people in the local community and parents and family and friends and Eagle football fans that are excited about the upcoming season, no question.
You've been through so many spring practices before, but this is the first one that you are the man. And that has to be very gratifying to yourself. We talk about people paying their dues all these years. You've paid your dues. This is your program now. And I know you're putting your mark on this program with your hard work.
No question. And it is humbling, to be honest with you. But it's a tremendous opportunity, and you're exactly right. I've worked tremendously hard to get to this point. But from the very get-go, I turned our focus to our staff and to our current football players, and wanted to try to develop a we product, a product that we build together. We do it with a vision, with a plan. And you got to execute that type of stuff. And practice has been very different from what it's been in the past. And very pleased with our tempo and our effort and how we get from drill to drill. And just the tempo and the way our coaches are being demanding and really putting their foot down and creating an environment where our guys can play hard all the time.
Know the fact that you took a lot of time putting your staff together, because not only did you want the right coach, but you wanted the right person as a coach to be on your staff.
No question. And, for me, and I mentioned this many times, Jay, I wanted to hire good people. I wanted to hire people that understand what family's about, that would be tremendous examples for our student athletes, our students on this campus, and then when we get involved in community service and things in the local community and surrounding counties. So that's very important to me and us, and that's a big part of the vision I have for this program.
Let's go over all of them, because we've done several shows, and little by little we've pieced the whole staff together. I mean, offensively and defensively, I don't know if you could find a better staff up and down this river.
Well, I'm excited, and just being out at practice, it's much different for me. And sitting back and not coaching a specific position. So I've turned my attention to evaluating our coaches every day, I'm excited about their enthusiasm on the field. I think that, as I mentioned, and I like using this word, is we're demanding in a positive manner. We're demanding our players to practice at a high level and take game reps. And I'm very sincere about that. I want us playing hard at all times. No matter if it's a full scrimmage format, it's tackle to the ground, or it's a thud, tackle through the ball, keep your feet. Whatever the tempo is, I want us playing physical at all times. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the staff. There's no question. And offensively, we're going to continue to be up tempo and play fast. And Coach Mullins has done a nice job. And there's been a little bit of a transition for him, coming in, learning the system, and he's got his first couple days of calling plays from a live script and doing that type of stuff. So it's exciting for him. He's doing a heck of a job, and the entire offensive staff is doing well. Defensively, we're playing with great effort, and we're doing a lot of movement, post-snap movement stuff, which really fits our personnel. And so we're trying to develop that second and third wave of defenders. And we feel really good about our first group and really good about some of our twos. And we're just trying to continue to develop a consistent effort and execution on defense, because no matter what you're doing, offense, defense, kicking game, you need to be efficient and you need to execute. And if you're bringing pressure, you got to do it the right way. You have to have gap integrity. You got to make sure you're getting your landmarks on coverages and things like that. So Coach Burnett's done a good job on defense, and has got those guys really bought into the fact that effort can make up for a lot. His big deal is defensively we're going to do it the hard way. And we were rated the 84th defense in the country last year. And he's talked about that from day one. He's emphasized that we need to be better. And I've talked many times about us having to be better on defense to be a championship caliber football team.
I know the fact that offense and defense, you're also putting more emphasis on the special teams, which, at times last year or the last few years have hurt us here at Morehead State.
And Coach West is taking the reins of that, and we started from the ground up. Typically, a lot of teams don't spend a lot of time with special teams during the spring. We felt like with going through a transition of a new staff and implementing new schemes, and losing our kicker, Rayner, that we need to spend some time in that capacity. So we have a special teams board in our locker room. We've put an emphasis on it. We want there to be competition. We've charted every kick and snap that we've taken the entire spring, and we need to be better in the kicking game. And the thing that I shared with our players from the very beginning was this, is if you're a backup, if you're a number 2, then you should be a great special teams player. We're going to have some starters on special teams and involved in the kicking game. But if you're a number 2 or a number 3, you should be a great special teams player for us. You should be on 2 or 3 different special teams and then spot playing and competing all the way till you can get on the field as a full-time player.
Well, and also these 2s and 3s doing special teams work could, show you something that you go, wow, let's see what he does a little more out there and earn some more playing time.
You're exactly right, and that's part of the process. That's big picture, and that's important. We got to progress in all those areas.
Now, as a head coach, what's the difference? You said you've been watching your coaches, watching the players. How hard is it to sit back sometimes? I know that you would correct them if they were doing something wrong, but how hard is it for you personally to sit back sometimes and just watch and try to analyze everything instead of that coaching light kick on and going out there right in the middle of it?
It's different. It's different. I'm trying my best to get to every drill and spend some time with all the positions, and just giving in some input. I take a lot of notes at practice. I share those with the players after practice. I share those notes with the coaches either that evening or in the morning at our staff meeting. And for me, the structure and organization of it is very important. We want to be efficient in our drill work. We want to make sure we're getting maximum number of reps. Coach on the run,
Yeah.
and teach in the classroom, and or make corrections in the classroom, I should say.
I think that your philosophy is a lot is you don't want to waste any time out there. Every time is important. Every snap is important. And when these young men learn that you practice every snap like you play every snap, then success will come.
Correct. And it's tough in the spring because you only get a limited number of practices when that you can go full scrimmage type reps, and so you have to control the tempo. And sometimes that creates some bad habits. So you need to make sure that your players understand what tempo you're going to go, and we want to be playing with great effort all the time, no matter what the tempo is.
But it also has to, as you mentioned, 200 people in the stands at a practice. Those young men must look around and say, you know, we may have something here. You know, and that has to be good as, you know, trying to not rebuild a program, but putting your stamp on this program, the fact that, you know, you can see the excitement, the boys can see the excitement, and that translates to the coaches feeling the excitement about a practice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the number one thing is that our players are excited, and they can see in the stands. They can see that there's people in the stands. They can see that we're going to have good support. They can see that the community is interested in our football product. And so from a coaching standpoint, that gets you excited because now your players are giving great effort. They're excited. They come out with a lot of energy. And so it's good for both sides.
Yeah, I know that everyone's excited and you're excited, the players excited. Tell us a little bit about a normal day. I know you mentioned that you have your coaches meeting. What is a normal day for you and your staff from beginning to end when you're having spring practice that day?
Well, usually we'll meet in the morning, have a quick staff meeting, make sure that both sides are have the same practice schedule, our times match up, and any type of group work that we're going to do that day, offense versus defense, that we understand the tempo, what type of field setup that we need to have for practice, and then the times for our periods. You know, sometimes we use 10-minute periods, sometimes we use 15-minute periods. And as I mentioned, just structure and organization, so we're all on the same page. And then typically after that, our staff will break, offense will meet, defense will break. They'll go over practice schedule together. And then position meetings will be after lunch. Players will come in at 2 or 2:15 and meet for about 45 to 50 minutes. Give them a little gap in between there to give them, you know, let them use the training room and get ready for practice, and then we'll practice from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. And then after that, sometimes the coaches will watch practice film after practice. It gets put in the system pretty quick. Sometimes they'll watch that evening. Sometimes they'll wait till the next morning.
Nice to be able to, I guess, download it into the computer now and be able to watch it instead of having, you know, the old times either developing the reel or putting in a VCR. You've probably spent many times with the VCR and then the DVD later on. But, you know, that it sounds like it's a great time. Now you're practicing on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then a scrimmage on Saturday. And we want to remind the people, as you said, that all the workouts are open to the general public. So nothing to hide. They can come out and watch the Eagle practice on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on your scrimmages on Saturday, right?
Right. Typically during the week we practice from 4 to 6. And then on the weekends it's, you know, we usually determine that a few days ahead of time based on field use and other sport competition and things like that. So our scrimmage format this weekend, this will be our largest scrimmage of the spring, and we'll start at 11 o'clock. We'll go from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Now, I know last week we had some young men from Cincinnati down here, a community service situation for your young men, your football players. Tell us a little bit about that. Well,
Doran Hunter is a former player here at Morehead State. And he lives in Cincinnati now, and he's part of a youth group there. It's called More, and he occasionally makes some campus visits to colleges, and it's a way to award the young men in his program for their accomplishments. And being a former football player, he was coming down to campus here. He brought him to the new Space Science building there for a laser show. And I told him, well, we'll meet you up at lunch. We're going to bring some players up, put their jerseys on, and let some of our guys spend some time with those young men and be around them. And our players did a great job. And a few things that they emphasized to the young men was to stay in school and make sure that you're getting good grades. You want to graduate. You want to have an opportunity to go on and go to college and receive a degree and possibly play college athletics.
And, of course, if there's sixth graders from Cincinnati, of course, you can go to msueagles.com. They had a nice story on that, and some video on that, and that's what it's all about, Coach. I know that you're very big on the fact that giving back to the community and these players giving back not only to their local area, but the Moorhead and Round County area, because it takes a village sometimes to have a great football program, and you want the community to be a part of the program, and you want your program to be a part of the community.
And it's about having a good image, and we want to have that not only on our campus, Jay, but we want to have it within the community. And this past Saturday, we had 10 players. And Coach Woodson went over to the Carl Perkins Center there for the Build-A-Bed project, and helped out and load some beds on the truck, and a couple guys built some beds, and so it was a good day too. We've got a lot of young men that want to be involved in those type of programs and help out, and that's really the key to their development in the classroom, off the football field, and when you got good people. And you got people that are performing in the classroom, you're going to – a smart football team is a good football team.
I know the Build-A-Build program is a great program. MSU Core, a group here on campus, along with some great volunteers, families that are in need of beds. And, people don't realize that they are families, or a family or an individual. Maybe the kid does not have a bed of their own. They go build the bed. And then the people like your kids and other community people, they get it and they build the bed, they fix it up, and they either help them load the bed to when they come and get it. But it's a great story, because sometimes we get to forget there are a lot of people out there that need our help. And
our players that helped out on Saturday talked after practice and said they really enjoyed their time. It's amazing to see that how many families that were there to pick up beds that didn't have a bed. Their child didn't have a bed. And so they enjoyed it. They had a good time, and they definitely will be back to help out again with that project in the future.
Of course, big day coming up Saturday, April 20th, the spring football game, and, of course, tailgating that morning. And, of course, the game will begin at 2 o'clock. And it's just around the corner. I know you're getting excited about it.
No question. And I'm excited for two reasons. I'm excited to see where we are as a football team at that time. And we're just talking a little bit about the format this morning and how we want to set it up. We want to make it as much game-like as possible. And that won't be really decided until the end of next week, and to see where we are and make sure we're healthy. And but we're going to put on a good show, and we anticipate a large crowd. We've invited family and friends and recruits and their families and former football Eagles and alumni back for the event. So it should be a great day. Tailgating opens at 10 a.m., and we're going to have a full itinerary for the day. We're going to have a campus facility tour. We're going to show all of our new facilities to a lot of alumni that may not have been back on campus for a while, and some other promotional stuff, preseason tickets and boxes and tailgating passes and things like that available. And then spring game will be kicked off at 2 p.m. We'll be finished up by 4 p.m.
So spring game / Eagle family reunion. That's what you're because we're bringing all the Eagles in, whether they were players or alumni. You want to show off your new digs, which I know that it's been one of those things as a head coach getting the office redone. You probably didn't think you'd have to go into carpentry, probably.
No, I'm actually tomorrow. I have to have my office cleaned out. They're starting the main office tomorrow, and the staff and my individual office on the first level at Jane Stadium. So I'm looking forward to that getting started, and those should be done here in a few weeks, I hope.
Of course, camp's coming up. They can check msueagles.com for all the camp information. A lot of camps and too many to go into, but all they have to do is go to msueagles.com, download the brochure, sign it, bring it back, or send it in, and there are a lot of different activities coming Eagle football here in the summer.
Correct, and we've created some individual camps. We've created some team-type camps. We also have a youth camp, and that's the first time that we've had a youth camp in quite some time. And so I'm looking for a good turnout there. That's in the middle of June, I believe, and to get some of the local community, boys and girls, out to enjoy some instruction from the MSU Eagle staff.
Don't want to nail you down right now. We got a couple minutes left. Surprises, offensively or defensively, who have, like players-wise, who has just stuck out in you, and you kind of look at them and say, wow, this is a big improvement, or wow, I didn't know he could do that?
Well, I think we were anticipating some of these. I don't know if we really had any surprises for me, because I've been around these young men, and I think that I had a good evaluation of what they were capable of. Of being and what they were able to do. So offensively, I'm excited about a few guys up front. Alex Hay and Calvin Harrington are playing at a high level. They're both returning starters for us. And John Moore has stepped in to play center and is doing a nice job. And then C.J. Phillips has really come along, who was a redshirt freshman for us last year, offensive lineman. And we've moved Kataro Lewis back outside to Z receiver. And Shade Whitfield is clamped down the X position for the time being, anyway. Yeah. And so he showed some tremendous progress. And then our quarterback position, Boone Goldsmith and Logan Johnson are both competing for that position. And I think that competition will probably go into fall. And but they're both getting better day to day, week to week, performing at a high level. Defensively, our front is playing really well. Coach Wright has done a tremendous job with them, and a couple guys that have stuck out to me. Tanner Teepin has made a lot of progress. Just a hard-working, hard-nosed guy. Extra in the weight room, stays after practice. I'm excited about him, and Timmy Dysart has come along. A couple other guys. Rob Lewis is playing much better. He's in much better condition now. Corey McSweeney at defensive end has made a lot of progress. We're excited about him. And then a couple linebackers, Nick McCune and Nick Reitzel, are playing at a high level. And we've got a lot of guys that are competing for playing time in the secondary. So I'm excited about them guys. Just a few names I want to mention. April
20th, 2 o'clock, spring game. Rob, always a pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Rob Tenyer, football coach at Morehead State. We'll come back to wrap things up after this. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.